Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is a quick scrap, and yes, I have sped it up a little bit because I actually debated on even putting this one up. I'm not being harsh on myself, I'm not being super critical. You will see exactly why very shortly. I am still learning with, first of all, the collections I'm using the Cocoa Vanilla Studio These Days paper collection, and I'm also using the Cocoa Vanilla Studios DAYDREAM die cut ephemera pack. So that's what I'm using, and I use Wild Honey Distress Oxide and FRAYED Burlap Distress Oxide. Now I've got that out of the way. Watch someone that knows how to scrapbook. Absolutely, at this point, I am in love with how this looks. This is so good. I absolutely love it. I haven't done a diagonal like this for a little bit, and my eye really likes this kind of diagonal page, whether it's lines, whether it's stitching, whether it's tearing. There's so many different things that you can do for this. Now, what I decided to do with this page, and I don't normally do this because I'm a bit of a Scrooge and I like to spread my supplies along and get as many pages as I can out of my supplies. However, what I decided to do with this one today is, if I wanted to stick it on there, stick it on there. It's a power scrap, so if you think it looks good, glue it down. And that's what I did. So the one downfall was I haven't played with the Distress Oxides enough. Now, literally, while I'm doing this fussy cutting, I fussy cut around the edges of these die cuts because personally, and it's a personal opinion, it's each to their own. Some people like that wider white border around their flowers. I personally like it to be a little bit more narrow, and I really enjoy fussy cutting. And now I have the new Tim Holtz mini snips. I love it even more because it's easier on my hands. Absolutely love it. So here's where it all goes belly up, in my opinion. Right, so I wanted to use the oxides because they're my new thing and that they're new to me and I wanted to use them. But look how heavy-handed I get. And right there and then, it was like, oh, that's not too bad. Darker in at the photo, and then it just goes, nah. So when the Distress Oxide, when the Wild Honey had oxidized and it's done its thing on my swatch card, it actually looked closer to the mustardy yellow in these flowers. But when it was going on, it looked like a bright egg yolk yellow. And I was like, oh my God, this doesn't match. This is awful. What am I doing? I'm wasting all this product. And that's when I went, you know what? That's why I do these videos for you. So I make the mistake so you can learn from my mistake. So that's why I continued to go ahead with this. Why did I get frayed burlap out? I don't know. Call it a lapse in mental stability, perhaps? That looks awful. Awful. But then I realized that, hang on, the oxides, I can sop up some of this ink, and just by wetting it and using my paper towel, I can just, now this paper is, it is not gessoed, it is not prepared for water, so I have to be super careful how much water I add, and I have to dry it off so that I don't destroy the paper itself. So I'm still at this point, sorry, I just got a text message. One child has gone to school, lost an earring, and has asked my oldest daughter to bring her some more earrings so her ears don't close up. She hasn't had her ears pierced for very long. So she's... Actually, it's been quite a few years. Anyway, I digress. I'm trying to draw your attention away from the disaster that is in front of you. So I go through, and what I decide to do is throw everything at it. Every arsenal that I have in my... Please ignore that binging in the background. That's my 14-year-old. Desperate for earrings, apparently. It's sports day today, so, you know. Anyway, so what I'm doing here is I'm like, maybe I need more. That could fix this, because quite often I pare back my ephemera. I pare back my extra bits because I like it simple. But every so often I do a busy page, and I thought, you know what? Do it. Commit. See what happens. Worst case scenario, you waste the video and you don't like the scrapbook page, and you can reprint the photos and do it again. I mean, really? Is that the worst situation? It's not that bad. Still, I'm not liking how dark the ink is. It's not working for me. But I am loving these florals. I just love... So I'm using some of the ones that I had fussy cut out from the These Days collection when I did another page. I don't even know what page I did. But I really liked it. Once I added that extra square, that's when I went, you know what? Yes, more. That's what it needs, more. So I go through, and I didn't really... Look, this is my Yappy Chihuahua. This is Lexi. I didn't really have a massive lot to say about it. It was just I wanted to scrap it because it was cute. And that's where I thought, you know what, just add things to it. I see other people doing this and it ends up looking great. So let's see. I'm still trying to work out how to get rid of the mass of colour that I put underneath those florals, because truly, I don't like it. Truth be told, I should have just got some gesso out and painted over and created a white background with a slight hint of the oxide maybe peeking through. That's what I would have done looking back. But that's okay. It comes good in the end, and it looks good in the end, and I cope with it. Is it my favourite page I've ever done? Most likely not. However, if you learn anything from this one, learn to be very light-handed with your inks, especially when they're new ink pads. So I go around the edge, and then I realize, okay, that's better. Getting rid of the bright white has taken away from that big yellow chunk. And then I realized, maybe I can specifically remove little bits from behind, and it works. It makes it more water painty rather than blender brush style. And then I like it. I needed to take that bright wild honey out of it. And then I just use my white POSCA pen, which is my fave lately, and I just go around the edges of just a few different bits of ephemera, and I added some extra white dots in the middle of my stamens in my flowers. Some already had some didn't. So this just added a little bit of highlight. So I was happy with that, and I totally coped with it. So if this is something that you like, I mean, obviously this video is not, in my opinion, not the best thing ever, but it's a great learning tool. So it's a great way for you to utilize my stuff in my stash to show you what not to do, and maybe what you would like to do. Maybe I should have kept going. Maybe I should have colored that whole section. I don't know. But I think it turns out good in the end. So the next video I do, I'm going to play with my oxides more and I'm going to get a feel for how juicy these ink pads really are. So if you like this video, excuse me, sorry, excuse me. If you like this video, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. And basically, I do my channel, I do it purely for educational purposes for other people, so they know what you like, you know what you like to look at. So, and you might learn a little bit here and there. I know I learned something on this layout. So here's a close-up for you guys. See how the white Posca pen just makes those flowers pop? I absolutely love it. So if you like it, I'd love you to subscribe, maybe hit the like button, and see where we go from there. I'd love to chat to you again soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.